There are some real secrets to success. Yes, it is not something that is hidden from us, but most people don't realize it's not what bank to go to and what credit score you need. And all of the things that I, Noelle Randall, teach you on my channel is some of the softer stuff that you really just cannot see at all inside of a person. So in this interview, I'm going to show you an actual interview that I recorded with one of the authors of the Making It book. It is a book where I tell you like real stories, like people's actual story, their struggle that they had and the thing that they learned about it. Divonica's chapter was one of the most hard-hitting chapters in the book because her story was raw. So I saved this just for you because I want you to listen to what Divonica has to say, some real secrets she gives on how you actually transform yourself. This is a very successful woman that did not start that way. So this is a real story, not just Noelle's, with the true secret of what it takes. You don't want to miss this one. Let's go.
Noelle. Yeah, she can fix that. You gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that, yeah, she can fix that. Investment to give back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that, let's fix that.
Okay, Divonica, I am so happy to have you here. I'm so happy to have read your story. This was an amazing process in writing this compilation book. This was the first time I did that. I was so happy that you were a part of it. So let's go right into your chapter. Yes. It is called The Transformation Code. Okay. Break free and reclaim your power. So first of all, how does that define you as your story? Because you really did talk about transforming and like the code that you use, and you kind of get into that, but you start off with a real fire. So how did you get to, this is the code to transform, and how that came to be?
How I came about that is, is always some unforeseen circumstances when you see what you need to do to transform. And you know, like I had mentioned in the book, just not having somebody truly having your back and pushing you to move forward to do better, just knowing that you're your own savior at the end of the day. And that would help transform me, just knowing like, look, nobody's here to save you.
Yeah,
nobody's here to save you. Yeah, it's you got to fix this, and we got to make better decision making, because everybody has choices. It just depends on what choice you plan on making, and know that whatever choice you do make is going to alternative your situation. You know, either it's going to make your situation good or it's going to make your situation worse. So just standing in that, just knowing, listen, we got to do better. Nobody's there to save you. And I had to stand there and reflect on myself. What are you doing wrong?
Yeah.
You know, how can I
So
make
let's talk about that for a second, because you really,
better?
like I said, you start the chapter off as a powerhouse. Like you just get right into it. It says, I vividly remember one of the most defining moments of my life. The moment I knew something had to change. I was about 5 or 6 months pregnant, raising my 1-year-old, working and attending school, all while trying to hold it together. You know, like you're finally seeming like to get it. Fast forward, you said, no conversation, no nothing. One day from my grandmother returned from Mississippi to check on the house. And during the visit, she told my father that I had to leave. Wow.
I had to leave.
Talk about it.
When I got that from my dad, I looked at him and I was just like, really? Like, you're not going to tell her my situation? You're not going to say, no, she cannot go. I'm here to help her, or to make sure she gets back on her feet. It was none of that. At the time, I didn't have nowhere else to go. I was staying with my grandma.
So give me a little bit of details. How old were you? Like you said, you were in Mississippi. Where at Mississippi? Paint the picture for me a little bit more. You kind of just go right in there, but give us a little bit of more, context. Like what was going on in Divonica's life?
At that time, I was around 15, like 16, going on 17, because I was pregnant with us. So they about a year or so apart. And I was still in school. I never dropped out of school. I never let the kids or any situation have me drop out or anything like that. I was determined to graduate. And I moved from out my grandma's house because we were having discrepancies at the time. So my dad let me come over there. And at that time, I wasn't even there very long. I wasn't even there maybe 6 months when I moved with my dad. And my grandma came, and she came to visit. And our relationship was always strained from the jump. So I'm just gonna
Yeah.
be honest
Why is
about
that?
that. It wasn't like, yeah, that I was close to
Yeah,
her or anything
why?
like
Why weren't
that.
you and your grandma? Because I could think of I have two grandmas, but one of them I was really close with and one I wasn't. And I kind of know why, but why weren't you really close with your grandma? Why was she not? Why wouldn't she? You said you felt like your father didn't protect you, but I'll be honest, I was like, why didn't grandma? Grandma usually is more protective than your parents and sweeter and gentler and usually, you get what I
I
mean?
think right? Checking the dad. Like, no, we're not having
Yeah,
that. But I feel
yeah.
like it was more so. It really didn't have anything to do with me. I really think so. It had more to do uh with past situations, like with my mom, or you know what I'm
Mm,
saying. And that was taken out on me pretty much. Hey,
yeah.
I don't
Okay.
really care for her mom or them so much. Why is she
Right.
here? You know what I mean? So if
Yeah.
she's here, my own flesh and blood kids are not even here. Don't even stay
Yeah.
here. Her
Yeah.
grandkids anyway.
Yeah.
And so I think it stems back for that. I think personally, it didn't really have anything to do with me. It was just taken out on me for the
Right.
most part.
I get that.
And
I
so
get that.
yeah, and so I got the butt end stick of that. And just going back to when she came and checked on the house, it was just one of those things where she barely even spoke. When she got
Mm,
there, she rarely even spoke to me. It was a few
mm.
words, and then next thing I know, that next day it was, you got to move out.
Okay.
So I had
Okay.
to uh rely and call on my aunt to come and help me move my things out of the home, and then I had to end up staying with her. But still, with that said, just that broke my heart. That right there was really
Yeah.
my first
I can see
heartbreak right
that. That's
there.
early trauma too.
Yeah,
Teenage years, vulnerable position, pregnant. I mean, I was there with you. I was like, wow, wow, that's
I was
hard.
on the curb. I was on the curb with my stuff, waiting for my one aunt to come and pick me up to go stay with the other aunt,
Yeah.
literally. And
Yeah.
that
It's such a
moment standing
betrayal
on
because it's
that
like
curb,
family. Yeah.
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
being in that room, packing my stuff and standing on my curb, you know, excuse my language, but I was like, the hell with this. This will
Right.
never
It
happen
happened to me
again.
again. And that I love that you put that in here. So when you said that moment lit a fire in me. I underlined that. You said that moment lit a fire in me. And I could see because it's
Yes,
so many emotions all at once. It's
yes,
blame for yourself and hurt for yourself, shame, betrayal. That
yes,
I could feel all of those things. Like you said, it's your grandmother, and you didn't do
yep,
anything, and it wasn't like a fight or you get what I'm saying? Like as humans, we kind of know when we did, when we was having an argument. It's like, okay,
right.
get out. Okay,
I'm
makes
like,
sense.
dang, I
But
maybe was
I'm
I
just
wrong?
chilling. I'm behaving. I'm doing. What did I do? What did I do?
Right,
So
yep.
I
And that's
felt you in
exactly
that
how I was
moment.
feeling. I was like, what did I do wrong? I'm like, I
Yeah.
didn't do anything.
I
At that
didn't do
time I'm still a
anything.
kid, so I can't do much
Right.
besides do your chores, go to school, have my little
Right.
job. So I'm just like, I'm not understanding what just happened. But like I said, I really don't feel like it was a personal attack on me. It was other
Right.
issues that I
Right.
feel that
Yeah.
she
Now that
had
you've done your
with.
work, you can
Yeah.
see where she hadn't done her work. So okay. So let's fast
Right.
forward because, like I said, you said that moment lit a fire in me. It wasn't just about finding a place to
Yes.
live, but I needed to reclaim my sense of security. So talk about how the
Yes.
transformation begins because it says, "Let the transformation begin," and you kind of get into some of that things.
So
And yeah,
so
go.
um then at that time, I was really heavily in church. So
Okay.
that was the foundation to be like, how the preacher, feel like they
Yeah.
talking to you
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
through something. You like, is he talking to me? I think he
Yeah.
talking to me at
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
So just sitting there, taking accountability because I was young and pregnant with children, taking accountability for that, and just knowing like, okay, you have to have those self talks. You know,
Mm,
what can I do to make this situation better? How can I be a better person? Because now it's no longer about me. I have
Right.
2 small kids. So now that I
Yeah.
have 2 small kids, it's no longer about me. So I had to come up with a plan and goals to, to be able to not only not take care of myself, but the 2 kids. So just
Yeah.
getting heavily, just like I always taught my kids from 10 to 11, know thyself, right?
Yeah.
Know
Yeah.
thyself is very important.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Mm.
Once you define who you are, where do you go from there? What is your purpose? How can I get in alignment with that? What are my next steps? God, asking for guidance for that. So
Yeah.
once I
Yeah.
started doing self-work, inner work, not
Yeah.
blaming
Yeah.
anybody else on
Right.
my situation, um,
Yeah.
that pretty much took off from there. And I haven't stopped since. I
Yeah.
haven't
I
stopped
love
since.
that.
I just
And what's funny is you can
been
see
on the
that for
go.
you to have that story, 2 children, teenage mom, you don't have that energy. So I could tell, obviously, you have done a lot of inner work and you've forgiven. You can feel that. Even like when I'm
Yes.
bringing it back up about your grandma, you don't really, you can almost don't want you're upset. You can bring back the emotion you felt, but you don't have any anger and non-forgiveness for her because you've already done that work. So how did it
Right.
get there? Was it a quick process? Because you're going to church and you're right, and they fill you up with love. I remember when I was in my worst place, it was the best thing to go to
Yep.
church. It really was. And I was someone
Yep.
that didn't grow up in the church. And so I was just going by myself. And like you said, as soon as I was there, felt like the preacher was talking to me, felt like exposed almost, like,
Right.
and then just felt compelled to go back.
Right.
And that was when
Right.
it kind of clicked for me. But I was in my 30s, so you're finding this a lot earlier. So tell me that journey to say, okay, and how soon you were able to kind of get to forgiveness and some of the
It
grace,
took a
giving
while.
grace and
I'm not even gonna lie to you. It took a long time. It took at least a few years for
yeah.
me to understand. Like, you know what? I can't get mad at anything that's out of my control, especially if I know I didn't
Mm,
do anything.
yeah.
And just even forgiving my dad for not even taking up for me. It's like,
Good
you know
point.
what? I forgive you. I have to,
Yeah,
because you
have to.
gotta, forgive them for what they know, not what they do. So I
Right. Right.
had to. That's always been embedded in me, and I knew
Yeah.
from that point on, it's very important to do unto others as you want done unto you, right?
Yeah.
So I just knew, like, you know what? I forgive you. I'm a keep, no love lost, no love
Yeah.
lost. But I have
Yeah.
to be able to forgive, not for them, but for you. Because
Yeah.
if you do not do that, you will hold that anger in and taking it out on everybody else, and they had nothing to do with it. So I had to
Right.
leave it there. I had to pray about it first,
Yeah.
ask forgiveness for myself and
Yeah.
the situation that I
And
put
forgive
myself
you.
in.
Yep. Yep.
Third, because you have to forgive yourself. People don't
You
forgive
have to
themselves.
forgive
People do
yourself.
not
Right.
do that.
Yes.
They just
Right.
don't.
I
And
agree.
and then
I
forgive
agree.
them.
Yes.
Yeah, and forgive them for they know not what they do. And I just
Right.
kept it pushing, did not look back, didn't hold any grudges, didn't do anything. And actually, when you do that, you feel liberated, you feel lifted,
Yeah.
and you don't hold anything on your shoulders. You're not burdened with anything or whatnot, and you could just keep going
Right.
with your life. I know
Yeah.
it sounds cliche, and sometimes it could be easier said than done. But when you've done the inner self work,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, it is what it is,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
really quick, who is Divonica today? Tell us, because again, you are amazing. Tell us about who you are today, and then we'll go into some of the actual tools and tips and skill set you give, because you give a lot of gems here.
Who I am today, I am a mother of 4 now.
Yes.
I got two sets of different generational kids.
That's
I
what I
have
say. I
a
got sets
one.
of kids. I have 5 kids,
I'm
and
like,
they are sets. I
right.
got some in college, and I got some at the elementary school.
one minute I'm at a Kevin Gates concert, the next I'm at Sesame Street. So it's just
Exactly. I love that. I love that for
right. So
us.
it's a
I
wonderful
do.
thing.
It's a wonderful thing. I do. I love that for us. I mean that genuinely. What else,
Yes,
Divonica? So Mama
yes.
4. What are you doing? Talk
Right, a
about that.
mama for I'm gonna say I'm not gonna really say an entrepreneur. I like the word creator, meaning that I'm
Okay.
able to create jobs for others and create different type of businesses that are not only my passion but with alignment with my purpose. And
Yes.
I love doing that just to be able to I get more satisfaction of getting people jobs than create making them the money
Right.
myself. Like, hey, yeah, you can
Yeah.
run the business, girl. I want you to do that, just
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
able to help other people level up
Yeah,
as
an agent
well,
of
just not
change. You know,
myself.
I don't need to do all of it, but I want to put those connections. And you're really good at that. And
Yeah.
like I said, a lot of what you do and what you've been through helps with that. So talk about how you use, like that, like you got away from the distraction. You talk about the battle of distraction. Okay. And you said they're the
Yes.
thieves of progress because because you've done so much inner work, you're kind of whole and you can really give to others. They say you can't give what you don't
Right.
have. So you have to fill
Right.
up your own cup before you can give. And so talk about that and how you really helped entrepreneurs or creators help put those connections together and help people get to the next level.
Well, when you say the distractions, just meaning, outside uh distractions as well as inner, just having the
Yeah.
self-doubt, not doubting yourself, just know that you can do it. And I'm real big on who gonna stop me. I
Mm,
growing up, I
yeah.
was always told what I could not do. So I
Right.
just be like, okay, well, I can show you better
Right.
than I can tell you. You know,
Right.
this
Right.
it may take me 2 weeks, it may even take me a month, but I'm going to
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so you have those distractions. You got uh back then we really didn't have social media growing up, but
Right.
just at that point, just hanging around the people that you were hanging with, you have to
Yeah.
change that too. So I had to let a lot of friends go because the direction that they were going, I didn't want to go down that road, and had I went down that road, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. So
Ah,
I just tell people, just focus on yourself, focus on your goals, and take away the social media, and then input that with something else. Instead of you getting on your phone as soon as you wake up, go say a prayer, go do meditation. Um,
yes.
I just had to change
Some
a lot of
stretching.
different
Yeah.
things, and
Yeah.
so
Yep.
yeah, and so the
Sit
things that I
quietly.
that I that worked for
I cannot
me.
tell you how powerful Divonica, and I could, like I said, all of the inner work you've done and all of the great advice you were saying, like about the distractions and getting new friends, basically, and sometimes having to change that environment. Of course, very powerful. We know that that's the only real way to kind of transform. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? To become something
yeah.
different. But a lot of people. Let's talk about this for just a second because
Mhm.
I get a little, noise about this that I have just a very small circle. Okay. And
Okay.
I don't let a
Yep, me
lot
too.
of new friends in because I've cultivated like this circle. You know what I mean? And I had to let go a
Hmm.
lot of people in the past, and they feel some type of way in some cases. Some cases, I think they do
Right,
understand that we really just are not compatible. But a lot of people
right.
that they feel like the no contact with the parents or the cutting the friends off, and your childhood friends, and you no longer talk to them, and that's just like you change your number. They feel like that is too harsh, and it's like bougie, or
Mhm.
it's part of your transformation.
Yeah,
So explain, because again, I understand it's the transformation code. That's why I said I loved your chapter, because I know that's how you go from this to this. But when you're sometimes talking and you're trying to coach someone on that, I can hear how it hits their ear. I guess I can say I do hear how it hits their ear, but I know it's the truth. So talk about
right,
that.
right. Some people, like, they be like, stop talking to my mama, stop talking to my dad, my sister, this my own family. But those are the people
Yeah.
that's deterring you from your aligned assignment on what you need to
Yeah.
do. Nobody's saying that you don't have to talk to them at all. Just minimize the contact, because every time you come to me, they will say, well, my mom said this or my family said that. Do you like what they were saying about what you could not do or whatever the case may be? No. Okay. Then what do you need to do about that? Minimize that contact, because nobody's saying that you don't love them anymore, that you
Right.
can't go see them anymore,
Right.
but minimize
Yeah.
that contact of how much you go see them and talk to them. And another big thing I always tell my people, what is a gem is keep your things to yourself. You
Right.
don't have to tell
Especially
everybody
because
your
in the
moves.
beginning, you're not necessarily strong enough to defend it. And more than you know it,
Yes.
the things that they are saying to you are in your subconscious mind. So if they're telling you, I don't think this
Yes,
gonna
they are.
work, there's too many people on here, you ain't gonna be able to do this. That's inside of you. Don't it's not that's
Right.
why it's
Yep.
not their fault. I tell you, it's not their fault. What the problem is
Yep.
they're pulling that out of you. And I'm trying to pull
Yep.
something else out of you. It's all in
Yes.
there.
Yes. Yes.
And that
Yes.
negativity is in
Yes.
there. So they call you with it and it's in you. You're in it. And
Yep.
so it's so funny. Keep
Yep.
going.
That's
I had to say that part.
that's why I tell them to move in silence. Move in silence. Don't tell anybody what you got going on. I know you want to share. We always want to share the
Right.
good news and this, that, and the other,
Yeah.
but everybody's not happy for you. You know what I
Right.
mean? And you
Right.
might even have some that act like they may be happy for you, but really jealous or envy of, dang, she really did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I tell
Yeah.
them, just move in silence. Don't let anybody know what you're doing until you are completely done. Because then when you see the progress of what you've done without anybody else in your ear and no outside distractions, look how much
Right.
work you've done. Look how
Right.
far
How
you
far
have
you can
gotten.
get. That's
And
another
now
thing.
you
That's a
have
distraction
completed.
telling everybody what you're
Yeah.
doing. You just wasting time, baby. You need to be working, not talking.
Yes. Yes. That's why I always tell people, you got 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen more than you talk, right?
Yep.
Listen more than you
Yep.
talk. And
Yeah.
now that you have completed your assignment on whatever it is that you were doing, can't nobody tell you nothing now, because now your
Right.
proof is in the pudding. You've done the work.
Exactly.
You did it. Now what? Now you like, next. I'm ready for the next project.
Exactly.
Let's go. Because
Exactly.
now you've proven to
Exactly.
yourself that you are able to do exactly what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I tell people another
Indeed.
thing,
So
Divonica,
moving
to your
silence
point.
is very important.
I was on a radio station the other day. This was maybe a couple of years ago, actually. It wasn't the other day. And he asked about my ex.
Uh-huh.
Like, I bet your ex is jealous now. You know what I mean? You glowed up, you got this. And I said, I'm gonna be really, really honest. When I broke up with said person, because you have that person in your mind, I did think to myself, I'm gonna tell you, I can't wait to show you. But by the time it actually shows up, you're not even that person. You don't even care what
Nope.
they think. You don't
Nope.
even want to show them. You're
Nope.
past that. It truly is a transformation, because the person that is manifesting millions and creating dreams and fulfilling the things and living in their purpose or whatever it is that you really want to do, when you are that person, you're no longer that other
Right.
person that wanted revenge or wanted to show somebody
Correct.
up or wanted to floss. You're just not that person anymore. So it's so funny. You start off
You
with
don't
some
even
of that,
care
like,
no
I'm going to
more.
show you. But by the end of it, you forgave them. You done moved on. You gave them grace. You understand what was broken inside of them. You feel
Yes.
more than anything, kind of feels a little sorry for them. Like, wow, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Right. Right.
It's not the same person.
Yeah,
It truly is a new
it's real
person.
different.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where the transformation come in at, and you just be like, dang, I really have changed, because the person back then would have cussed you out and checked you real quick or whatever.
Exactly.
You just be like, I tell people, you know what? You got it. You right.
Right. And
You
I
gotta
tell
let
people
them.
the
You gotta
same
let
thing.
them
People
have it.
I'm telling you, you know, Divonica, you know, we used to be like that. And then by the time it's here, it's not even inside of you. I'm never cussing
Nope.
anybody out. I'm not. I just,
Yep.
it would
Nope.
be almost like I couldn't even pull up that anger and emotion to be cussing. Like, I can get upset. I'm not
Yeah.
saying I'm a perfect person, but you just don't have that pop off that you used to have. You
I
don't
don't got
have
it in me.
whatever you want to call it. It's just gone. It's like you forgave
Yep.
yourself, and so it's gone, and you don't
Yep.
have it. It's so funny. Okay,
And you
I love that. Like I
forgive them
said,
too, and you moved on. And you just
you
be
do.
like, I wish them well, and that's that. Hope they doing
Yeah.
good. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. One of
Send
my
love.
mentors told me it's like when you squeeze an orange, only orange juice is gonna come out because that's all that's inside of it.
Right.
So once you kind of get
Right.
to what that's what's inside of you, you've done your inner work. When they squeeze you, the only thing that's gonna come out of you is love, positivity, motivation. You're gonna
Yep.
have,
Yep.
I forgive you. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna let you
Yep.
have this. Like it just that's what's inside of you now.
Yes. And it makes you feel good that once again, that's another part of your transformation that you have
Yeah.
grown up.
Yes.
You're on a whole nother level. You're on a whole nother
Yeah.
level. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And people don't
Yep.
understand when you get to that level because you create your own reality. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So none of that
Correct.
other stuff, you don't even care about it anymore. You just like, hey, it is
Right.
what it is. But that's where that
Yeah.
transformation come in, just leveling up each time,
Yep.
every
Open it
time
up. Yep.
with your
But it's
goals and
all from
ambitions and just
within.
being
And what I love
optimistic.
about 90% of what you said, it's all mostly inner work. Like all of the outside and exterior stuff that you want, that's gonna be that inner work. That's gonna be getting rid of shame, getting rid of
Yes.
guilt,
And it took me
forgiveness,
time.
getting rid of
Yeah.
yeah.
It took me, like I said, it took me time. I was not perfect. I was not perfect at all. And just holding on, they only getting a piece of
Yeah.
information in that book. But if you read my book about myself, it's called Imperfect Reflections, you can really
I
get
love it. Do you have a
more.
copy? You can hold it up to the camera.
I don't. And I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. I do
Okay, we'll put
not.
a graphic. I'll have the editor put a graphic here. Here's
Yes,
Divonica's
yes.
other
I'm so
book. Say
sorry.
the name of it again.
And you know what? That's funny that you even said that. See, that's what happens when you don't listen to thyself, because my intuitions told me grab one of your books, and I didn't listen to myself. See how that worked? You
Yeah.
see? And
Right. I am a shameless
yeah, so
self-promoter. I let people promote themselves as well because I feel if nobody
yeah,
else promotes you, you got to be the first one. So
yes,
I'll
I
let you.
know, I
Okay.
know.
No worries.
Yes,
So let's wrap
but
up
yeah,
because you had an amazing some tips at the end of your chapter where you kind of just ended
yes,
with just what I absolutely love. You said, now that you've read my story, because this is what this is the coach, this is the mentor inside of Divonica coming out, because you ended perfectly. You said,
right,
now
right,
that
right,
you've read
right.
my story, I want to
Because I'm
challenge
gonna pump you
you.
up.
Right. Okay. Let this be your defining moment. Don't allow anyone to take your voice. Don't allow anyone to shape your future. You get to choose. You get to declare that today, right now, is the day you stop surviving and the day you start reclaiming your power. Don't wait for permission. Make the decision
Yes,
and then let your
yes,
transformation begin.
yes. That is right. And stand on
Yeah.
business when you do it. No looking
Yeah.
back.
No
No
looking
looking
back.
back.
I
Yes,
love this.
it is
I love
wonderful.
this.
Yes,
I love this. Well, again, thank you so much, Divonica.
yes. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be able to, leave your viewers with some gems.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
And they should get this book. I'll leave a link in the copy, and I'll also put the link to your other book. You'll send me that, and we'll get that out there. So again, thank you
Yes.
so much, Divonica. This has been amazing.
Telling your viewers to have a good day and stand on business and get to work.
Love that. Yes. So I want to invite you to the Making It Manifest event. Go to manifestwithnoelle.com right now and get your tickets. They are super inexpensive. This is an all-day virtual event. You can take it directly from your phone, from your computer, and give me one day to teach you how to make it, how to manifest, how to put in the struggle and overcome it and actually manifest the business that you want, the life that you want. You can do it. Get your tickets right now. This event will kick off your 2026. This event is a Saturday, January 24th, 2026. We start at 11 a.m. and you can get your tickets for a very low price if you use code YouTube to save 50% off tickets. Get your tickets now. This is a one-day event. Make 2026 the best year you ever had and make it manifest. You want to come to the Making It Manifest event, and you can get your tickets again right now at manifestwithnoelle.com. The link is in the description box. Use code YouTube to save 50% off your tickets. Get your tickets right now. Why? Because I want to make sure that you have all of the knowledge, all of the tools, and all of the resources that you need to be successful. This is Noelle. To your success.
fix that.
Hey, I know this content was a little bit different, but comment below and tell me if you're loving it. You stayed to the end, so you are one of my most loyal people. Thank you, and subscribe.